you raised it 100 years for the Manu. I saw the old boys busting out the Manu Samoa. 100 years celebrated, like, based on since Manu Samoa started.
That's huge, Ailes.
Yes, but was that everyone there from the Manu Samoa, like through past and present, just over
I
the
don't
years?
think so.
It didn't look like everyone now.
It's quite it's pretty proud to think they've come this far, man. I'm just looking it up. 1924, first international bro against Fiji. And they met when Fiji was touring them. But yeah, I think there's a bit of controversy, bro.
1924, like, when did the missionaries come? I'm just thinking, like, these guys, first thing they do, see us and just grab that ball over there. We're going to show you this game.
There's a long pause in between, but I was quite proud that we're now I'm kind of half mixed feelings. It's pretty cool that we've been around this long, but I don't know about you guys, but I really kind of took notice of Samoa after that '91 World Cup, and why I said mixed feelings because you think about the team in that squad and what they did to put Samoa on the world map, to stand up and showcase the talents that we have. And I just think not only results-wise, administratively, like especially at the moment now where they can't even pay for a tour of Europe at the moment, it's quite sad that we haven't, that we've allowed the work of the '91 World Cup boys and not capitalized on that, bro. Like, look how many Samoans are ripping up overseas and other teams. Look how strong we should be, man. There's a reason why I say that, man. You compare it to with these not emerging, but look at Japan, look at Argentina. You look at them back in '91, and they were getting smashed 100 points, and they've overtaken us, bro. Italy's overtaken us. We've fallen out of the top 10, and I know it's not because of talent, man. So you got to point the figure at the administration, and it's funny you asked about that invitations and that because I've been following on my social media, and not all the Manu Samoan players were invited to, but there's a lot missing. It seemed to me it's kind of like an old school. There are a few players from the '91. Good to see Malua, so Westy, bro. Malua Tipi was there. I noticed.
Oh, nice.
But I don't know exactly who else was there, bro. But yeah, man, it's good to see us celebrate. But like I said, mixed emotions. We should be a lot better as a rugby union force. Maybe it's time for a change in those guys who've been running the show. I don't know. What do you reckon, Bobby?
I think the Manu Samoa team has become a victim of its own success. So when you talk about how they should be more successful, they've been successful, and the fruits of the labours of all of those Manu Samoa teams since that '91 burst onto the scene and smash Wales and make it to quarterfinals. All of the fruits of the labours of the players have gone to the administration and the people running Samoa rugby since then. So it's not like they haven't been successful. They've been super successful. I mean, all the money that's been pumped into Samoa rugby since '91, all the afu, all the blood, the sweat, the tears has just been eaten up by all those freaking fat administration motherfuckers who just want to ai kupe and eat all of the afu of the players. And so, I don't think they've been unsuccessful since '91. It's just been the governance and the administration. And, I'm not going to name names because I don't know who the names of these people are. But these people know who they are. And, players know who these people are as well, because international rugby has wanted to grow the game properly in the Pacific, and they've seen how much Pacific players have impacted on heaps of international teams, not just the duopoly of New Zealand and Australia. Man, these boys have gone far and wide. Wales, flipping England, all over the seas, Japan. So, you know, I'd say that they've been successful. It's just that it hasn't been reflected in terms of that investment put back into grassroots Samoan rugby. And the divide seems to be getting a bit wider now when you see what's happened with the draw in Super Rugby and how that's impacted on the state of Fijian rugby.
Fiji are living up behind, man.
Oh my God. Like that game where they played in that Pacific Nation first game, Fiji versus Samoa. Samoa got fight. Like it wasn't even close. You know, and games between our Pacific brothers have always been tough, but super close because they've always been similar. But now, man, like Samoa's just getting left in the dust, and then you hate to look at it and think of the heyday of '91, which wasn't that long ago, but you know, the days of Samoa being this like Pacific powerhouse is starting to be, you know, more in our rearview mirror than ever before. There's nothing we're sort of looking ahead to. It's all just reminiscing and naming your kids Cardiff Arms Park and all of this sort of stuff. When we should be building progressively forward for a Manu Samoa that's competitive in the years to come. But when you've got all this
stadium by now on Apia Park.
All this political stuff that's surrounding Samoa rugby at the moment, and funding, and them wanting to use Samoa rugby as a political football in the local politics scene, it's just rubbish. And the game is just, you know, it's a detriment to Manu Samoa rugby. And, you know, the side talks about how not all the players were there to celebrate 100 years. That's sad because you've got all these players who've played their hearts out for the Manu over the years, but then, you know, like they kind of don't want to come because of the state of rugby at the moment. And it's like, you know, so it is a bit sad, and I understand that whole bittersweet.
Well, the other thing is like if they got no money, they can mawhainga. So like,
That's probably why. Turn up and then next minute, we've got a ball silver with all our old boys. Well, donate some for Manu Samoa.
They'll probably use the boys for that,
Let's use the fact that all these old beloved Manu Samoa
dance.
Samoa to, exactly. And those guys are like, man, I ain't going there because I know exactly what's going to happen. All of a sudden, these makais from random places I don't know that run Manu Samoa are going to turn up and then want some pasese. I was like, pasese, where, nigga? You live here. I'm going back to America or Australia or New Zealand. Where I come from?
But before we're going back tomorrow, I got to stay. Apparently, I got a ngufu. I'm getting paid tomorrow.
You know, so all those boys, you know, the 91 boys did it tough because that was when we had no kupe. But then when we got kupe, we still didn't have kupe.
It seems like the current team are experiencing similar conditions, man.
Yeah, and I think that's the sad thing is like the boys just rise above it and play for that jersey. You know, they play with heart and they get the job done sometimes, but it's without like pathways, and it's like a blink and it's gone because it's not sustainable when it's just all off emotion and heart. And but I was gonna ask, like, how is it different with the tour though? Like, who's the administration there? Is that based in Samoa? Is it a similar kind of thing? It has to be kind of locally, because that's the thing. You think tour is all NRL players, really, whereas you look at the Manu, like the makeup has to kind of come a little bit from local talent.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
To be honest, I think if tour are not careful, there will be someone who will jump on the success of Tour Samoa and change it into what's happening with the Manu at the moment. I mean, you look at what happened to Matamat Tonga over in Tonga when they got super successful and they were doing really well. Then all of a sudden you had these random-ass Tongan dudes wanting to come and run. And then they had to, all of those players were like, hey, we came to play for the love of our country. And remember there was that tournament where they came to New Zealand, or where they toured Europe, I think, to play England, but they didn't go over as Matamat Tonga. They went over as a Tongan Invitational 13. All of the NRL players were there. But for some reason, these Tongan officials that jumped on board and wanted MMT, like they wanted to own MMT and that movement that was happening for the boys.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's
where
probably
they've started to drop
happening
off.
with
Yeah.
Samoa. You know, we've made a World Cup final.
Mm.
You know, we've got all of these quality NRL players that are playing State of Origin because we're not a Tier 1 nation, coming across and playing for Toa. Someone's going to be greedy, corrupt officials going to get onto like the Rugby League Samoa board or something, and then try and, you know, garner all of this interest in. The difference is Rugby League internationally is not as strong as Rugby Union,
Yeah.
and it's not
Yeah,
as
that's the
cashed up.
strange thing, eh? Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
they
I
don't
can
have a
still.
cashed up IRB, or I don't know what they call it now, World Rugby, who pour fucking, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars into
Yeah.
development countries like Samoa, which
Mm.
I'm almost want to say that IRB should just fuck it, you know, go run your own shit and pay for your own shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the worse of the hole they get into, the more people start speaking up. Like, you know, this is not working, man. We need some proper businessmen
Yeah.
running the show next. That's what you got to run, bro. Is a businessman.
Yeah.
You know,
What do you see? You know, like how you're saying drawers coming up. It's almost like they need help, but they always just end up, you know, like New Zealand coming to help, but then it's just leaking players out of there, like a Pacific administration to kind of capture all those cookies, konga. Like Fiki seemed like it'd probably be beneficial for the others. Fiki probably wouldn't be because they're like, well, we're sweet. Like, why do we need you? But it's almost like, yeah, I don't know. Just because, you know, kind of, it's been happening for years, and it's like something needs to stem that flow of just constantly the same thing happening over.
Replace people away on that board, man. When you look at some of those names on the Samoan board, they've been around Samoan rugby for a long time, man. This shit's not working, bro. But you know, Samoan culture, bro, almost like
Walo is just like, oh,
sweep it under the carpet. You know what I mean? But
power.
you know, they had a few people like Eliota back in 2011, Mahonri, which is real funny because he's the coach now. But yeah, people speak up, and then you just kind of wait for time, and then it's still the same people in charge. But congrats anyway, man. Manu Samoa, 100 years, that's huge.
Yes, congrats, guys. Hopefully you guys get your sorted out. All right, let's get into it. Round 25 review. You mentioned it kicked off last Thursday. Mainly Seagulls. Yeah. Kaya Kele. Leading at half